Taxi vlog 157. It's been a couple weeks since I did one of those because last week or a week ago it seemed that there was not much of a story to tell. What did happen though a couple weeks ago, I was told to watch out for the temperature. And you know, that there was a tendency for the coolant to go down and the thing to overheat. Okay, fine. I kept an eye on the temperature. It didn't go up all night. And I was told that the thing would be repaired on the Wednesday or the Thursday, my days off. So I came to work on Friday night. And I worked all Friday night, and everything was good, except that, Friday night was fine. Then on the Saturday night, I was working again on the Saturday night, thinking everything's fine and everything's cool. And I had a carload full of kids, and with this carload full of kids, the engine overheated as we were approaching downtown. So needless to say, I was not too pleased with that. I turned the heater on quickly to save the engine and used the heater core as a cooling system. Now that seemed to work just fine, and it kept the temperature right in the comfortable range, except that in here it was kind of hot. So I told my passengers, look, you know, pardon the heat, but if not for this, the engine will seize. So that worked out okay, and I got to the next gas station and put some water in the radiator and closed it up, and everything was fine. I worked the rest of the Saturday night, and of course it blew a fuse again, so I had to get a fuse. I had to replace the fuse in the middle of my night while I was busy. But after doing that, things went just fine, and the Saturday night ended okay. The Sunday night, same thing, it ended okay. Monday night, it went alright. And then Tuesday night, that is a week ago, on my first customer, the engine overheated. And I'm going, oh, what the fuck's this? It's been repaired. Well, anyway, I used the heater core as a radiator for the rest of the night. And in the morning, I forgot to mention that the vehicle overheated. Well, then in the daytime, the owner took the car out, and it overheated on him, and he had all kinds of exciting things happened to him. But you know, I was told that the thing was going to be repaired on Wednesday or Thursday. But what had happened is he hired a new driver who of course didn't take it into the garage to be worked on. And he just assumed that the thing had gone into the garage instead of doing it himself. So, you know, you gotta trust the other guy. Well, no, you can't. You gotta do things for yourself. And so, you know, had I not thought of putting on the heater, I could have maybe fried the engine. Anyway, whatever. He got it fixed. And it was sure to get fixed after it happened to him too. Now, fast forward to well, the following night it was fixed. The Tuesday night it worked fine. So Monday, this was a week ago, that's when it was overheating. Whatever. Get my days mixed up sometimes. Saturday night I came out to work. It was a long weekend. I did a lot of fares, but I had a lot of short ones. So I didn't make that much money Saturday night. Friday night, that is. Saturday night, because one of my headlights was out on Friday, I went to replace the headlight, went to Canadian Tire and they were closed. Went to the other Canadian Tire and they were closed. So I had to run to Walmart to get a freaking replacement bulb for the headlights. Okay, I replaced that. Then, just to make sure, I went and bought some more fuses, because if this thing blows a fuse again, I would have been stuck. And seeing as it was a Saturday night, I didn't want to get stuck with a blown fuse and be unable to work. So I got some more fuses. Haven't needed them yet. Now it's the 23rd, it's Monday night. Anyway, that Saturday night, because it's a long weekend, it gave people the excuse to get drunker and be more disgusting than they usually are. And of course, I wasn't at my top. So, needless to say, everything that they did grated on my nerves. Just disgusting drunk people who didn't know how to use the sliding doors, and it was getting really old. It was not a good night, either monetarily or nerve-wise. It just wasn't. So I worked pretty hard both Friday and Saturday nights for very limited payoff. I didn't connect anywhere. It was just not working quite right. The Sunday night, on the other hand, as is typical, or as is almost expected on a long weekend, the Sunday night was better than usual Sunday night. And it went very well. I had a good night. Good night Sunday night. That was last night. I've made almost enough money to get our groceries for 2 weeks. So my mission, should I choose to accept it, tonight is to make enough money so that Cindy and I can go out for dinner. Not an expensive dinner, just a cheap one, and have enough for maybe a couple 6-packs of beer. On top of the groceries. And if I don't make it tonight, I'll make it tomorrow night. Yeah. So, probably the most momentous, or the thing that I remember the best from last night, the only bad part, actually, to the Sunday night that I just talked about, is I got sent to an address. And there are people milling around in front of the house, and another cab came up behind me. And the guy comes along to my window and asks me if I would pull over for a moment. Meanwhile, the other cab behind me loads. And as I'm pulled over for a moment, there's one guy helping another one towards the cab. And the one who is being helped is kind of incapable of walking on his own steam. He is being helped. Anyway, they come around the front of the cab, and as soon as they clear my right front fender, and the guy's reaching for the door to get in, I'm in gear and I gun it. I get the fuck out of there. I am not letting some drunk who can't tell me where he's going, getting in my car and spoiling my night. No. The first thing you know, either he falls asleep and you don't know where you're going because he wasn't able to tell you the address, or the guy doesn't have any money, or even worse, he pukes projectile vomit all over the interior of the car. Not my idea of a good time, so I just drove away while the guy who was helping him was reaching for the door. I think it was a good move. It was the best thing I could have done, given the circumstances. Now I'm going to move over here because these guys don't let me in. I'm going to make my own way. Yeah, so I know it's not really that long a vlog for 2 weeks of action. The long weekend is over. Tonight it should be quiet. Being the Monday night after the long weekend, people all have to go to work in the morning. So, on that note, I hope yours is better than mine. And have a good night, morning, afternoon, whatever.